Picture this: 50 kids, ages 7 to 17, rambunctiously running around in the gym playing basketball. Now, picture those same 50 kids, an hour later, sitting quietly, fully engaged in workshops that teach them about character. That's what I encounter every Monday night when I run the I Play, I Lead Basketball Academy. My name is Mark May, and I'm the co-founder of Forward Progress Youth Foundation, where the I Play, I Lead Basketball Academy is our staple program. At I Play, I Lead, we're doing so much more than teaching basketball. Let's zoom in further. Picture an interaction where a kid is having a hard time being a good teammate. That can look so many different ways, from a kid displaying a nasty attitude towards someone, being disrespectful towards someone, or simply distracting someone else from learning. When something like this happens, as it does many times per night, we coaches stop the game or the drill and seize upon that moment to make an analogy to a non-sport area of life. We help these kids see that teamwork on the court corresponds to teamwork at home or in school. We all know that kids love to play. And play is a natural way that kids grow not only their physical skills, but also their emotional and interpersonal skill sets. William James, the father of American psychology, reminds us that it is our job as instructors to tap into the natural interest of children, to spark their abilities to connect to the ideas we share with them. Sports is just the hook, just our way in to teach leadership, confidence, respect, responsibility, attitude, resilience, and teamwork. Keeping in mind that teaching these valuable traits will result in creating successful individuals. When the emphasis is solely on winning, all these pillars seem to become lost, causing our young people to struggle and fail at our own expense. My simple but profound big idea is that we should be using sports to do this. What's the difference between a minor league baseball coach versus a major league baseball coach? The difference is simple: development versus winning. While a minor league coach gets paid to develop players, a major league coach gets paid to win. I feel that in our communities, we put the emphasis on winning too much, and we end up acting like major league coaches instead of minor league coaches. Keeping in mind that most of youth sport coaches, we're just volunteers anyway. We at Forward Progress are lucky to have the support of organizations like Project Blue that partner with our I Play, I Lead Academy and share our vision that long-term attention to kids' ethical and academic development is an essential component side by side with any sport programming. I can recall a time in 1995. I was 12 years old and I was playing Pop Warner football for the Greater Compton Panthers in the Mighty Mike division. I was right at that age where I just started to understand the game. I remember Coach Mike Toussaint telling us that in order for you guys to win, you first got to understand how to lose. At that time, I had no idea what he meant. Neither did any of my teammates to my knowledge. But as I grew older, all I can think of were the non-football analogies from Coach Mike. Coach Mike was teaching us about life through football. He was trying to get us to understand that there is a struggle, and principles such as hard work, sacrifice, and dedication will get us through. Those were his three biggest principles, and it all makes sense now. Now it's 2015, post-master's degree. Becoming a little bit more experienced in my own professional life as an athletic director and assistant principal for St. Lawrence of Brindisi School in Watts. I was always interested in sharing stories about my work with everyone from my family to my friends. One friend in particular who shared the same vision as myself decided to have lunch, Mr. Devin Terry. Terry and myself had become close after meeting in college and embarking on our own individual journeys together. To our surprise, our individual journeys would travel the same highways and byways, so we remained really close. We ended up graduating together, and Terry would go on to become a juvenile probation officer. Over lunch that particular day, Terry and I shared stories about our youth, as we often did, and both had an instant light strike upon us. We knew there was something missing. We simultaneously asked each other, in different words, but the same question. What's the disconnect that when I send youth out of the school setting, that they end up with you in juvie? Let me say it again. What's the disconnect that when I send youth out of the school setting, that they end up with you in juvie? We knew there was something missing, so we furthered our conversation. After agreeing and disagreeing on different things, we both came to terms that life skills at a young age could really be a game changer. The next question was how? How do we implement these life skills without boring these youth out and becoming repetitive? Sports. We met with another college friend, Miss Trayana Rankins, who previously started her own youth foundation, Marching Beauties. Trayana shared the tools of what it would take to start our own youth foundation, and later that year, we started the process to become Forward Progress. Terry and I will become co-founders of Forward Progress, which is now an official nonprofit organization. We planned and organized a summer camp, which was set to debut in the summer of 2017. And we were introduced by an LAPD officer to NBA great Kurt Rambis, who agreed to come check it out. Kurt ended up speaking to our kids about leadership and was interested in coming back the following year, taking a larger role. He was a man of his word. Kurt sponsored our 2018 camp, and we all agreed that this is something we should be doing on a year-round basis because young people were actually having fun while also learning great values. Over a few additional discussions, boom, there was born the I Play, I Lead Basketball Academy, which focuses on building character through sports in a unique way. Fast forward to one Monday night at our I Play, I Lead Academy. We had a lesson about respect. A few of our youth were having a difficult time and becoming easily distracted during our warm-up period. It was a great teaching opportunity. In the moment, we were able to address the importance of respect and simply break down what it actually meant while we continued our warm-ups. At the end of our night, our weekly workshop was centered around respect, where young people had open dialogue with each other as well as their coaches and did activities that reflected respect. At times, we tend to let certain things go and casually say, kids are going to be kids. And yeah, that's true. But it's also our responsibility to take advantage of every teaching opportunity to help these young people deal with the upcoming obstacles that they will face. I think that we can all agree that having respect is something that can be taught and learned during sports, if done correctly, but definitely used in many more facets of life. That following Monday, one of our parents approached one of our coaches and asked, "Did you guys teach a lesson about respect? Because my son is displaying some new likable habits at home, and coming to y'all's academy was the only new addition." Those lifelong lessons being learned through sports transferred into the home life. Our youth today are being pressured with things, and yet they still haven't fully been developed. The expectation has become too high for a young person who hasn't developed the required skill. My point is this: let's give the game back to the young people and use it for what it's made to be used for, which is fun and as a tool to develop future leaders and successful individuals in society. In sports, there's so many lessons that can be learned related to our character. Those lessons will happen to translate into the everyday lives of our youth, which happen to be outside of sports. Did you know that according to the NCAA, fewer than 2% of NCAA athletes actually make it pro? You're right, 2%. There are nearly 500,000 NCAA athletes, and most of them will go on to become something other than a professional athlete. If we are not using sports to prepare our youth for life after sports, then we're failing our youth. There's so much more we can be using sports for. It's a tool that we're using on a very limited basis right now. We need to treat children as the unique individuals they are. The earlier we intervene with our youth, the easier it'll be to impact them in such a positive way. We need to get to them now, because unfortunately, if we don't, we may never. Remember these 3 key points. Sports is just the hook to tap into our young people. Emphasize development and character, and you'll win even if you lose. Think about that. Implement these values at a young age and allow our youth to grow not only physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. And if we do these simple things, we can create successful individuals that are productive in society, whether they make it as a professional athlete or not. Thank you.